Relax your forehead. Relax all your facial muscles. Relax your shoulders. Relax your entire body, head to toes and toes to head. Use your breath to notice any tension in any part of your body. As you inhale, you scatter. As you exhale, you relax. Relax any tension anywhere in your body. And then keep your attention on your navel to nostrils as you nostrils to navel as you inhale. Free flowing breath without a pause, without a break. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back and use the mantra. So with the incoming breath, hum with the outgoing breath. So hum. Taking a gentle breath in, we'll chant Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Namaste and welcome. Welcome to this wonderful. This afternoon is going to be full of practical hints and suggestions. So, and also to find out what you all have been up to in the last 2 weeks to keep tabs on your activities. So, the question is, as I read earlier, how can we live like Janaka? And did you experiment and experience this concept of living in the world but not being of it? So I actually wanted to ask Anupama, but is she there? Is Anupama there? Otherwise, no, I don't think she would have responded if she was there. I cannot make out who all are there. But anyway, so could not find Anupama. Let me ask Kalavati. Can we unmute Kalavati?
Yes. It is difficult to be like Raja Janak, but then having brought the awareness at every step, you constantly remind yourself to apply the principles which he has been applying. So when things don't go your way and you get bogged down by that, so then how to come out of it is saying that you have to do what best you can, and the rest you leave it at the feet of the Lord. If it is destined to happen, it will happen, and not get upset or carried away by those things. That is what it is.
So you could practice it. Can you give us any example, concrete example?
Well, I'm looking out for an alliance for my son. And when things don't work out, I really feel very bad. I feel dejected. And then this is where this small exercise of ours comes back, that it is for me to do my duty. Destiny will take its own course. So I have to do my duty and leave the rest in the hands of God. So this is the living example.
If you are not attached to the result, you will not even the little anxiety that you do. Our problem is that, and where we have to learn to catch
Yes,
the
yes.
result. Yeah, aim has to be to do the best, that to get the right alignment. But our attachment to know it, this only must happen, has to be surrendered. And when we talk about Raja Janaka, it was Raja Janaka, and we appreciate cannot be of that high standard. Why? Simply because what was Raja Janaka doing? He was in the world of it. That was the inverted commas. Now, how could he do that? Because he did not identify with this body, and he could do that very easily. Unfortunately, we still think that I am this Venkatramani who has this son, or I am Kalavati whose son is my responsibility. I don't identify with that one who I truly am. That is just pure consciousness who is witnessing the drama of life. And the drama of life will go on. So you have to play the role of a mother perfectly without getting identified with the role. That's the idea of King Janaka. But I'm very glad and grateful to you for a little example. Now we, Rama, myself, Sudha, and some others, there were 18 other participants in Rishikesh. Now, let me tell you my experience so that it is becomes more personal. Otherwise, one tends to talk theory and divorce it from practice, which is very unfortunate. And that's why I want to tell you this personal story. So I'm supposed to be conducting this 3-day silence retreat in my guru's ashram, which was a great honor in my own opinion, and my humble pranams to my Gurudev for allowing me to do it. Now, most people there came there because they wanted to visit the ashram, not because they wanted to attend Shirin Venkat camp, and they wanted to be by the Ganga and spend some time in silence. Now, for that, naturally, one had to prepare, because even people like Swami Tadatmanand and Swami Sarvapriyanand, all of them, they prepared with the focus that, okay, we must do our best towards whatever action we are undertaking. Like that, Shirin also prepared intensely, because now she was going to do a Jnana Yajna. All of these people right here now as well are divinities who are going to receive some from other divinity, and that is a yajna that one is performing. So, what is that yajna? That knowledge is being given oblation into the fire of the mind of the others, such that it becomes a flame and their psyche. So with that idea of a yajna and of an offering, I proceeded by uh, first whatever they were, and the guidance that I was giving, teaching pranayam and so on, and whatever I was doing. So what happened? So as I was saying, so first the attitude was of yajna. Second was that because I'm doing it as a yajna, I'm offering something. Third is that I am not concerned with what is the result. I am not at a karmanyavadi karaste. So whether anybody likes it or dislikes it, or whatever their response to that event may be, is not of my concern. My concern is only to do my best. What was the situation? Totally free of anxiety. It was such a delight. It was such a delight to be doing what I'm doing, because it did not matter. I could actually feel, because I was doing it as a worship and surrender to my guru. I could feel that my guru is sitting there and he is the one who is talking through this mouthpiece. See, this body and mind is in fact a microphone for divinity. And it has been designed by divinity itself. So nothing of it is we can claim as ours. We can't even claim me as something separate from God, because it is only ultimately the function of this whole universe is that a creation of God. So with that understanding, the whole program went so smoothly for me, my personal experience. And every morning I was able to get up and do whatever was required, right from 5:30 till 9:30 in the night. And we had a very delightful time, including the day following the 3-day silence. We went to Tarkeshwar, which was the tapasthali of Swami Ram. So we enjoyed going to Lansdowne and above that, and we thoroughly and we're in such tremendous harmony with each other that we did not feel we came from several different backgrounds. Somebody came from UK, one girl came from Albania, another came from Chennai or Bangalore, third came from Delhi. I mean, some others came from Bombay, and 3 or 4 went with me from here in Pune. It didn't matter. We all were so well harmonized that we could feel the power circulating through us, which belonged. It is not mine. We must understand that it is not me, mine, and I. If you don't understand that, there will be anxiety for the next time. If you say, I performed well this time, but what next time I have to do better. That means I am living more in the future and past than right now. So there was no such thing. There was no such tomorrow or yesterday what I had done. And therefore, the practice of living in the present with the full knowledge that all that is happening is through me, for me, by me, and for the loka sangraham, for the well-being of all. And what is that which is going through me? Nothing but divinity. Divinity is there in me as much as there is in everybody else. And therefore, there is a certain security. You do not have divinity. Please understand that when you pray, you are as divine as the one you're praying to. And therefore, you have nothing to worry. It's only when you feel separate that you become insecure, you have developed fear. So all we can do in life is to, because we have this sense of agency that I have to perform, it does not mean that I am separate. The I that has been given to me is meant to do this thing in this lifetime, is what we have to understand. Everybody is a hero or heroine in their life. You can choose to be a villain also, if that is the role you've got. But nobody wants to believe they are that. Even the villain thinks he's the hero. So whatever the role you are given is meant to be done with all due preparation, makeup and everything. Can you see it? I got new clothes tailored. Don't you like my kurta? So the makeup was perfect. And thereby, but that does not mean that when I get out of there, I consider myself anything other than what I truly am. And what am I truly? The witness of the drama. The witness of the drama. And enjoying the drama to the maximum capacity of anybody. So today now, Rama, would you like to speak anything? Or Sudha, is she there?
I will, today I will just share an experience. So
Please.
today, it had been quite a while since I spoke to Jayanti. You remember Jayanti, na, my friend, the singer. So I called her how she has been doing and all.
Yeah.
And as she was, she was sharing what all is happening in her life and all. Then I said that she just paid a flying visit to Delhi and all. As soon as he finishes, you know what? Shashi is calling. Shashi is calling Jayanti. She said, उसके नाक में पसीना आ रहा है, हम दोनों बातें कर रहे हैं. And Shashi is calling. Then Shashi could not get through to Jayanti, and then she tried calling me. Then my phone also was engaged. So then I connected her to the call and said, "What is it, Shashi? You knew that both of us were talking and all." And then she said, no, I need one help very badly. So I remember two of you. And she said there is what do you call beef in Tamil? Because I'm not able to find the translation for it. So I said, okay, I know the word, but I have to type it. Can one of you do it? I said, okay, I will do it. Then I thought it was only one word. Apparently, she said, no, it is not one thing. I'm going to send you a list of hospitals and all that you have to type it in Tamil. Will you be able to do it? I said, okay, you send me. Then I said, you send a voice note and I will do it. And it took me 2.5 hours literally to do it, because we are not used to type in Tamil keyboard. And yeah, how the translation, Malayalam translation and English, Tamil, Sanskrit translation is very difficult to do in Tamil, because there are very few alphabets than those languages. But as I was doing it, there was no thought in my mind that I am doing it, but I was focused on it that she needs it. She is doing so much good, so at least something we have to do. That was the only thing. After finishing, and within 2 hours, I don't think she would have expected the thing so soon. But anyway, I sent it, and I was pondering about today's question. And I was thinking maybe I applied a couple of features of Janaka's non-action. Like Loka Sangraha was the one thing in my mind, and an absolute non-doership. And when she said that, Rama, this job of mine was pending for so long, because I didn't know how to do it. Now I can get it printed and, give it to people. It was all about the cancer patients and, for their cancer centers, health centers and all those things. That she said. And so I said, the first thought is, of course, we didn't do it. Someone, she called at the correct time. And yeah, and I don't know how the answer. I agreed immediately. It was not I who agreed. The source said you do it, and where am I in this? So it was just an example to share with others. I know that's all. Some of the features, though we are not enlightened, we can apply these things in our practical, life. Yeah. Even if it's
True.
subtly. Yeah.
And you did it without anxiety, see. And you
Absolutely.
that's the point. The point is to be free of anxiety. The anxiety of performance is what gets us very much, because we attach ourselves as the so much of the doership we take, that anything that goes wrong is due to us, anything that goes right is also due to us. So what happens is that we are continuously assessing ourselves and reactions of others, which is what makes life very miserable. Actually, not it does not give us joy. It gives us exhaustion. So we have to understand what exactly is our modus operandi, which is what Sri Krishna is giving us. All right. So now we
And
come to
about the silence retreat also, I must say that when Shirinji was, taking this, what a blessing that we, attended her retreat. It was like out of this world, and she was a practical example of King Janaka, I felt. Absolutely. Yeah,
King Jan,
yeah.
practical example of himself. There is no one person. We are all interconnected, and we are all just that same divinity. I just want to reiterate this, because we tend to fear a lot. We are filled with fear, anxiety, and insecurity. So whereas we must have a financial background, we must maintain our accounts. I'm not saying that, but to be anxious about anything is where we are focusing now. How to perform without anxiety. So the first shloka today is so beautiful and it is so meaningful. It is shloka number 30. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasyadhyatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigata jvaraha. Therefore, dedicating all actions to me, with your mind fixed on me, who is the self of all, freed from desire and the feeling of miyam, and cured of mental agitation, fight. Vigata jvaraha. See, the jvara is that I cannot fight because I'm facing my relatives, and I will incur a lot of sin. That is his fever that has caught him. So Sri Krishna is explaining to Arjuna that Maik Sarvani, all the actions that you perform, dedicate all those actions or renounce them at my feet. Sanyasya adhyatma chetasa. With the chetasa is the inner consciousness, that with the mind, that all of this is, I am that self who is in you, and I am that self in front of you. So dedicate, renounce all the fruit of that action, because Arjuna was afraid that the fruit of this action is going to be so horrendous. How many lifetimes I may require to pay off that kind of karma? Therefore, Sri Krishna is saying, just renounce all that fear, that jvara, that fever that you have got at my feet, who will then and be free, that this is my job or my work and I have done it and so on. Niyam is that nirashir nirmamo. Nirashir means without desire, and nirmamo means without that feeling of me, mine and everything. Dedicate it to me, so that you shall be free from any repercussions of the action that you are undertaking. Now, what are the practical takeaways of this particular shloka? Are that these objects of the external world which attract us, make us what is called bahirmukhi. We tend to crave that which gives us pleasure, and we tend to avoid that which gives us pain. Now, it's not wrong. It is what self-defense will teach you. But when we identify with it, then that's all we know about life. Whereas when we look finally inwards, because that gives you fleeting pleasure, you start looking inwards for that perennial joy which is unalloyed from with pain. Every place what you can get is actually always has a downside to it. But we ignore the downside because we are focused on the pleasure that we get. Then, second point that we have to understand is, what do we understand by dedicating all these actions to the Lord? It's so beautiful, really. I'm just so filled with that wonder. I hope I can conduct it to you. When we say that every action, dear Lord, over to you, I dedicate it to you, what are we actually doing? We are doing a true prayer, a dynamic prayer. And when we are praying, it is not just reciting verses, which half the time we don't understand. But this action, the act of dedication at the feet of the Lord is, according to me, a true prayer. And therefore, we will never be, what will be the immediate fruit of that? We won't have anxiety. And what will be the long-term fruit? The long-term fruit will be that you will not get bound by that action. Because see, when we get likes on the Instagram or whatever grams y'all have, luckily I don't have them. You want to do more of the same thing to get more claps. The high that you got initially with 10 claps, 10 people liked my post, you don't get till 100 people have now liked your post. Therefore, what is addictive is always dangerous. It's always dangerous. Now, if you are dedicated that action to the Lord, you're not bothered about the claps that you will receive. And when you're not bothered about the claps that you will receive, if you get brickbats instead, somebody throws tomatoes at you, you will not feel bad either. Because what you did was not for the sake of the fruit of it, but for the sake that you felt it was for the well-being of others. And therefore, all the psychological suffering can easily be gotten over. And then the other point is that when we are working, or even when we are playing, we must win the game. If that is not there, once again, you have done away with the psychological suffering. It does not then bind you. The action itself binds you. You know, I will tell you my own example. I have written this book, Jivan Sar Kathamrut. And of course, I have written it for Loka Sangraha, for the well-being of the... I genuinely feel like laughing. Why I feel like laughing is, who the hell do I think I am that I have done this great act of writing such a book, which has stories from the epics and from all the gurus and my personal experiences, where Bhagavad Gita has helped me tide over very difficult situations. Yes, the intention was perfectly right. All of that is there. But the I am the doer was also there. So when I received a lot of accolades from unknown sources and friends and everyone, that, oh my God, you know what? I read the book at one go and it is so good and so on. Then a thought arose, okay, if it has helped somebody like that, when is your next book? And things like that people ask. Then I must market it, which I'm very poor at doing, by the way. So I could not do it. All right. I renounced that. That was causing me tension, that how to market this damn book. I said, forget it. If it has to reach somebody, it will reach. So now I have made it available for free download. अभी किसी को उससे फायदा होता है तो होने दो, नहीं होता है तो नहीं होने दो. Can you imagine the immediate freedom that we experience from this lack of doership and anxiety about what should be done? If you hand it over to the Lord, it is over. So, utne utne mukta hue. Remember this very wonderful statement, and it belongs to Goenka ji. So, Goenka ji used to say, agar hum, this little freedom that I have experienced, I have become free na, utna to mukt ho gayi na main. So, utne utne mukt hue. So, in every practical experience that you do, you have become free that much. It's okay. We are not talking about ultimate liberation, but when we are getting slowly liberated from these anxieties and from the bondage of that result that we have received, then what happens is a very serene and calm inner milieu develops, which is where we want to go. So Karma Yoga is an action done with the attitude of surrender and is always in the present, because you cannot surrender something you have done in the past. Just now I'm doing this action. How am I doing this action of speech? You won't believe it, but a beautiful sensation of intense harmony arises within this space of this heart. I am scarce able to control it, because I am totally with you in this moment of time. So when we are neither thinking of what is gone by, just this, this thing happened in the morning and that was really distressing. How could I have done otherwise? And then I have to do this lecture, so I'm also doing the lecture. How sad would that be? Or that I'm anxious that, oh, I hope there will be enough of them listening. None of that is there, with the result that I am totally in the present. So like that, we have to practice the surrender. This particular verse is very many times quoted by sages, because, and it is very open to misinterpretation also, because like ISKCON devotees will say that you have to surrender only to him. Mai means only to Sri Krishna. It's not like that. He is himself saying the self, and the one who is the self of us all. So the second point, why in the present, why this particular moment you're doing what you're doing, and only that what you're doing is important. Why I'm saying that being in the present is important. As you are surrendering at the feet of the Lord, if you're also carrying your samskaras, grooves that have been made with you, your likes and dislikes, habit patterns with you, then you are offering stale food to him, isn't it? Then what you are doing is tainted, isn't it? So before you offer, withdraw your mind for a moment and ask, am I carrying my likes and dislikes into this action? Then I will drop them first, and then I'll perform this action. When we drop our likes and dislikes and habit patterns, we not only offer fresh naivedya to the Lord, fresh action to the Lord, but we also get fresh prasada from him. And the person who, to whom or for what you are doing, will experience a certain freedom from the encumbrance of wanting to, having to applaud you. Are yaar, she will not like it if I don't say it was very good. Simple thing like cooking. And we are cooking, there is a VIP coming to your home and you have to cook. And you are cooking and you are only worried about whether he's going to like this food, that, oh God, is this, have I put 1 gram of salt, little extra, or, and you're constantly tasting the food. What will be your condition by the time the VIP actually arrives? You are so much tightened that you will spill the soup, I tell you, I promise. So you cook with a gay abandon that I love the cooking, I am good at it, I will do this as an offering. To whom? To the divinity that is coming to my home. And as soon as you go with this, first of all, during the cooking, Swami Ram was so sensitive. He could only eat in some houses where the lady would prepare the food for him. All these sages are like that. So one day, his favorite food was cooked by this lady. Actually, who was this lady? Swami Veda's wife, Lalita. And she had prepared the best, his favorite vegetable and the rest of the food also. And of course, she served the Guru with all her heart. But he didn't touch that vegetable which she knew he loves. And she felt very upset. So she asked Baba, आपने इस सब्जी को हाथ भी नहीं लगाया, आपको तो बहुत अच्छी लगती है ना? Do you know what his answer was? जब तुम ये सब्जी छोंक रही थी, तब तुम बहुत गुस्से में थी. You were in great anger when you actually made this vegetable. And she was shocked, because in fact she was very angry with one child of hers. So the food gets colored, gets the vibration of your sentiment. So if your sentiment is one of anxiety, it will certainly, not that people are sensitive to know that, but that is why it is so important that whatever you do, knowledgeably, whatever action you undertake with this full knowledge that I'm doing it for Sri Krishna. I am a very Besura person. I can't sing in tune. But I sing the arti that I have every single day in the house with gusto. I said, भगवान के कान भी दुखते होंगे इस बेसुरी को सुनते हुए, लेकिन क्या करूं, उसी ने तो दिया है ना ये आवाज, तो उसी को अर्पण है. So do it with that fearlessness, and with that you will find that you are being the correct instrument. True. And the last class we talked about prakrute kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha, that all the actions are done by the gunas that you are endowed with, sattva, rajas and tamas. But your buddhi also you are endowed with, na? So the buddhi, the free will that you have, is also given by prakriti, by the nature. So you can use your free will to increase your sattva guna by these various exercises, and thereby the clarity of your buddhi. This is what when we behave in the manner that has been prescribed in the Bhagavad Gita, we are free of anxiety, we are free of any fear and worry. And we are free of the bondage of the result of that action. So if nobody applauds us, we are okay. If somebody criticizes us also, we are okay. In fact, you'll be surprised. It will be easier to take criticism because you know it is for your good. You will put the right amount of salt in the dal the next time. You will do better the next time. So those who criticize you, in Marathi there is a very beautiful saying, Nindakache ghar asave shezari. So your critic should be your neighbor. And generally the spouse is that. So don't worry, they're always there with you. But don't disregard them, is what I'm saying now. I have so far, but I'm changing. So that is one very important thing. Why, if we carry our samskaras, somebody you had an altercation with yesterday, he might be coming in the morning to say, I'm sorry. But you have decided he will never say sorry. And you're carrying this horrible samskara with you. The guy turns round and does not say sorry. Because your judgment was already made. And from your facial expression and body language, he understood that's not going to work. So don't carry your samskaras of yesterday. They are the bija, dukkha bija, because they create the thirst for this or that. And that's why this thing is born. The bondage is born of the karma that we are undertaking. So the one who is an anusuya, that is the one who does not find fault in others, the one who is without doubt, and the one who is without jealousy. These are the various meanings of the word anusuya, and follows this advice will be liberated. But those who do not follow this advice, what will happen? They will come to ruin. That means they will return to this samsara of joys and sorrows again and again. Now I'm going to take these next two shlokas together, which are shloka 33 and 34, and quickly tell you, because they've disturbed me immensely. And I think that if you do read the Gita on your own, you might also get disturbed in a way. So shloka number 33 says, Sadrusham cheshtate swasthaha prakrutir jnanavanapi prakrutim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyasi. Nigraha kim karishyasi. What can control do? Because it's the prakruti, the gunas that act. And because they act, all the tendencies they do, they make you do what you do. So to this tendencies of his own nature, so what use can any force do to suppress them? Oh God, I said, even the wise man, even his tendencies make him act according to them. Therefore, what can control do? So this used to be very disturbing, this particular shloka, which is also in chapter 3. So I used to think, so where is the free will then? So Sri Ramana Maharshi has said that we have free will in only aspiring for self-realization and to do sadhana towards it. There is no other free will, which implies that the conditionings and the samskaras hopelessly drive us on to action. It was only recently, while reading, recently meaning when I had written these notes 3-4 years ago, that I got the answer. Because, when we aspire for self-realization, I hope that all those who are listening today are not just wanting peace of mind and some relief from stress, which is a byproduct of meditation and a little bit of pranayam and some yogic actions which will help their body. If all this is your goal, then maybe you won't even be able to practice what is being preached here. But if your goal is nothing short of self-realization, then all your actions will get spiritualized and you will not find it difficult to practice what is being said here. And if Ramana Maharshi can tell us that we have the free will to aspire for self-realization, then the action will automatically change. It will free you of any anxiety because the Lord is in you, with you, around you, for you, by you. So you will act according to what has been told, and thereby you will experience that freedom. And this number 34 gives the answer. So indriyasyendriyasyartha yasyartham raga dvesho vyavasthitau tayonam vashama gachetau yasya paripanthinau. There are just these two big boulders in the roadway of the path to to self-realization. What are these two boulders? Raga and dvesha. Raga and dvesha means attraction and aversion. So attraction and repulsion are rooted where? On all the sense objects. Man should never allow himself to be swayed by them because they are the two principal enemies standing in the way of his redemption. So when these gunas, what do the gunas do? They determine our likes and dislikes and form these samskaras. But if the buddhi is sharp and vigilant, which is also a aspect given by Prakriti to us, then, and our aim is nothing short of self-realization, then we shall be able to exercise that little free will that we are given towards getting over this raga and dvesha. So my mother had explained to me that raga and dvesha are also innate conditions that are given to you. What are they given to you? For self-preservation. You naturally dislike a snake. Don't tell me you had to be taught not to like a snake. It's because you are wanting to preserve your body. Like that, this raga and dvesha has been given to you for the protection of the body. And these sense objects, indriyarthe, these indriyas go into the contact of the sense objects because they want to generate a sensation of pleasure or pain. And with this sensation, it creates a chain of bondage. But if we are vigilant, you see the taste of the rasgulla. I used to love rasgulla. So rasgulla put on the mouth, the tongue, oh, loves it, became a conditioning. So the next time I saw, while walking along the Ganga, we found that the Bihari rasgullas were much more tasty and delicious than even the Bengali ones. And it's a Bengali sweet, apparently. So, more taste, more craving, more thirst, more bondage to rasgulla happens. But if you're vigilant and you say that rasgulla is fine while it is there, but I do not crave it when it's not there, then you are not bound by that craving. When you are not bound by that craving, then it is by all means enjoy the rasgulla. By all means. But if the absence of it makes you unhappy, that's where you are going wrong. So when I find that suppose I have diabetes, of course rasgulla should not be had. And I keep on craving for it. Then I am bound to that taste, which is what we are expected to renounce at the feet of the Lord and to choose what is shreyas, that is what is good for us, rather than what is preyas, which is just pleasing. So that which is preyas usually leads Like, you go for a night show and you eat late and you eat out and you come back with a bad stomach and lack of sleep. Is that a good bargain? Ask yourself. And when you overdo it and you want immediate gratification of your senses, then you are on the wrong track for sure. This is the biggest boulder on the way towards self-recognition. So thus allowing oneself to be caught in this game of attraction and aversion, which are the two supreme obstacles in the path of redemption, is what you have to avoid. So it is simply clear that if we don't go on autopilot and switch to manual mode with regard to attraction and aversion, we will be easily liberated from the grip of Maya. That's being very optimistic, but at least it will lead you away from Maya. So as referred to earlier, the buddhi is our charioteer, the horses are the senses, and the mind is the reins, the deluded jivatma being the bichara passenger. So wherever the buddhi takes him, that's why you see figuratively and actually and metaphorically, Sri Krishna was the Sarathi of Arjuna. So he cannot go in the wrong direction. Make your buddhi the charioteer, which is going in the right direction. And once it is purified and it's on the right path, can the goal be far away? Not at all. And Sri Krishna should be your Sarathi. He can easily be your Sarathi through Bhagavad Gita. He doesn't have to be physically present, and he can't be physically present in your brain in any case, but he is present as knowledge in your brain. So I will leave you with that today, and the exercise for this week, if you like to write it down, I'll also send it on the WhatsApp, is give 2 examples of the obstacles on the path to which you have either succumbed or succeeded in the next week. In the next week, you must find out which 2 obstacles came in your path, aversion or attraction, and either you succumbed to it or you succeeded in avoiding those 2 obstacles. This is your exercise for the coming week, and we have completed for today's class in the right time, but if you require to ask anything, please go ahead. And then we'll say our prayers. Any doubts, any questions? All right. I have a very receptive audience and a very intelligent one. So, with all my heart, I thank you. You can also put your questions on the WhatsApp group if you have any, and we will meet next Thursday. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrutyorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Tanme Manaha Shiva Sankalpamastu. Tanme Manaha Shiva Sankalpamastu. Tanme Manaha Shiva Sankalpamastu. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.